So today I thought it'd be fun to refactor some old code, um, and it's really kind of nerve-wracking looking at your old code, especially if you've been learning a lot. It's like, am I going to just walk into a horror movie by looking at this? um, and so I chose kind of a very simple project to go back to, um, and it's an app where I just get random jokes and display it on the screen, basically. So let's take a look at it and see what we can do. Okay, so let's see. First of all, there's no folders. I mean, it's just a very simple, small app. So I guess file structure can be pretty simple here. Index.js, okay, pretty simple. App.js. Um, Looks like instead of CSS files, I used just the style property, which is interesting because uh, right now I'm doing React Native, and that's how you style everything in React Native. You don't have CSS files. You use a style sheet uh, object and style things that way. And I really actually enjoy that way of styling. So it's interesting. I did it in one of these first projects I did. Um, Yep, so I have title quote box. Looks like the parent component here. Aha. And it is a class component. How old-fashioned of me. um, I've, you know, really early on after I learned React, I learned React hooks because they were the next big thing. And I really haven't used class components since then. So um, it's just one of those things where I like that all components can be treated equal. You can have all functional components, and it just simplifies things a lot in that sense. And it also, anyway, we'll get into it. But so I have a class component, yes, and that's where I have state. I have lifecycle methods. This is one of the reasons you use class components is because they have these methods attached to them. And render, and here we have quotes and buttons. Let's look at quotes. Okay, more styling. And okay, it looks like one shows when it's a new joke and the other shows when it's not a new joke, because here's hidden, okay. And then buttons. Buttons. Look at that, no bootstrap or React strap or anything, just my own little button that I styled by myself. How fun. And it's called buttons, and I think that's because I had two buttons originally, and then I figured out how to just change the one button based on the state. So that was smart. Yay. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And I have it running here, so this is what it actually looks like. Title, quote bubble, and button. SQL query walks into a bar, walks up to two tables, and asks, "Can I join you?" Hardy har. It's one of those things where when I first made this app, I didn't understand most of the jokes either. I actually got that one. Isn't that nice? Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, first of all, I am going to do hooks, definitely. I will refactor it with hooks. Quote box is the parent component here. And something great about hooks is it's just part of React. You don't have to import a library or anything. It's just part of React. And the hooks I need are use state so that I can set state, replace this state object and set state in a different way, and use effect, whoops, so I can replace lifecycle method here. And voila, I can make this into a functional component. Just doing an arrow function, and this is const. Okay. Now it is a functional component just like that. Now with functional components, like these are not methods in a class anymore, so I have to declare them as functions now. Okay, oh, don't want this render here either. Just returning, it's just a function, just a functional component. Here we go. This is another thing. I don't need this state anymore. So I'm actually going to just get all of those because it's just going to be set up punchline and new joke. And I also don't need this anymore. There we go. That's going to be happy. All the thises disappear. Now before I do, well, I'll go ahead and delete that because I'm going to change that here anyway, but just to show myself that this can be gone. See, this get new joke. It's just get new joke. Simplifying. Woohoo! Now, state. How am I going to set state here? I'm going to create a variable to represent each element state. So I'm just going to use the same thing here, and I'm going to say set setup, which is kind of confusing, but that's okay. I want to use the same naming conventions I used before as much as possible. Use state, and it's an empty string initially. There you go. I already have this one covered. Yay! Now I'll do the same thing for the other ones. Okay, so this is going to be punchline. So this one capitalized. There we go. And this is going to be a new joke. Set new joke. Oops. Except this is initially going to be false and not an empty string. There we go. So I can get rid of that guy. Boop, 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 boop. Because now I've got these guys setting state for me. Now you can do the same thing as before. Like I could have done I could have just done state set state like that if I wanted to, and then made it an object, you know, with all of these items in state like I had before, and then I could have just updated them like this, you know, so I could have had these in here and just updated them like that. But I do like itemizing each item in state like this, so I don't have to pass in all the other things in an object. I don't know, it just seems simpler to me. Okay, so that means that this does have to be 3 different things that are being set here though. So, yes, whoops. I'm making crazy things happen. All right, so this is going to be set setup, okay, right? And then this is going to be set punchline, right? And same thing down here. It's going to be set new joke to true. Okay, sweet. Oh, I have extra thing here. Okay. Now, another thing that's kind of set state is not defined. Where am I using set state? Line 31. Oh, here we go. Yep, I have to reset that. So set new joke to false here. Set new joke to false. Okay, that's very good. Get punchline. Interesting. Now, I mean, that in itself makes me think there's just one little thing I need to do that. I could just do that in here, but anyway, no big deal. Now, of course, component mount is not defined. That's the next step I'll do then, is replace this with use effect. Now, use effect takes an anonymous function, here. Just pass this in here, get your joke. And then I pass this in here, this empty array, to make sure it doesn't just continue re-rendering without end, basically. It's like component will unmount. So there's component did mount, component will unmount, all those different lifecycle methods, and you can replace all of them with use effect, which is awesome. Okay, so let's see here. So I saved that, and there's no errors, and everything should be good for functional components now. So if I click this, it still works. Oh, yeah, that was a base 10 joke, right? Anyway, so it still works. Now, the other thing that's kind of old-fashioned is the then catch syntax. So in the promise here. So let's see if we can fix that too. So use async await for promises instead of then necessarily. And you can use try catch instead of just doing catch here. So let's try that. So this is going to be an async function, and I'll assign a variable. So result, or no, I said response. Ha. Response, sure, why not? Equals await. And then I will, let data equal response JSON. Response.json. Yeah, that should be it. And then I should just be able to use data. See, here's data. That's a variable now, which is response.json. So this is just its own thing here. Don't even need that. Now, what I haven't done is try catch, okay? So that's another thing to do here. So what I will do is try to do this. Wait a minute. Nope, it's here. So okay, try. Okay. I'm going to try to fetch. And I'll do all these things. I will try to do all these things. Oh. And then if they don't work, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to catch. Now, apparently this is new for me too. So I haven't used async await and try and catch as much as I've used hooks. So I'm pretty sure that's how I do it. Maybe I can look it up quick here. Try catch async await. Perfect. Just to make sure I'm doing that right. Async return. Okay, where's try catch? Come on. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Error handling. Okay. Here's try. Okay, try, let response equal that, and you do all your stuff and catch error. Aha! That's what I was wondering. Is like, how am I going to get error? I have to put it there as a parameter. So that's what I will do. Yes, catch error. That's the one thing I was missing. I thought I was missing something. Okay, so that should be it then. So get your joke, you call this, you try this, and then you catch an error. Perfect. Pretty sure that's good. So yes, so that is the beginning of the refactoring. I think this would be a great project for my next challenge too, which is to, I want to see if I can set up a Redux store just from memory, basically, uh, because there's so many different steps involved, all the different things to import and shuffle around. um, so it'll be a special challenge to see if I can do it without having to look anything up.